What's up guys, my name is Native and today I'm going to be showing you the 4 elements of survival based on my school, 4-Wind Survival School, based on the fundamentals that it's going to take to keep you alive when the chips are down. As we go over the 4 fundamental elements that it takes to keep yourself alive in a survival situation, one of them is going to be food, fire, and water and shelter. In each individual element, I teach a 3-tier system that basically if one fails, plan A fails, you go to plan B and then C. Always have a backup. Redundancy in the wild is everything. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. And if you lose something, you're dead, or you could be majorly hurt. So hang with us as we get started. You can see it is definitely overcast right now. We have a rainstorm coming in, and when you have a rainstorm coming in, one of the most important things you can do is gather something to get a fire going. That is, first you need fuel, you need a fire accelerant, depending on what you're doing to start your fire. And right now, we're gonna be looking for shelter too. That's another thing, because we get caught out in this weather, hypothermia can set in, our core body temperature drops down, and once that happens, guys, that could be it. There's a storm brewing in. We definitely have rain. It's getting really cloudy right now. So right now, our first element and importance right now is finding a place of shelter, finding a dry spot where we can hold up tonight, and we don't have to burn a lot of calories, and I've got just a spot right here. Come with me. This is the perfect shelter right here, not only because it's a cave and it's dry and it's got plenty of space in it, but I've got holed up here one night during a rainstorm. I was out fishing, big storm come in, had to spend a night here alone. Guys, let me tell you, I stayed warm, I stayed dry, I built my fire, I had plenty of places to put my wood and keep my wood dry, which is another very important thing. Fire not all the time is something to keep core temperature warm, but it's also something that can be mental. It's something that can get in your head and makes you, it's psychology. It keeps you in the comfort zone, the place where you need to stay calm, focused, and complete the task that's ahead of you. The area that I would want to hole up and sleep. I can bring debris in, I can bring brush in, and I can brush myself in to where I protect myself from anything, predators that are outside that will be trying to come in and get me. Yes, the sand in here, you know, it's a little cool to touch, but it is dry, it is not damp. I've got plenty of area where I can hole up in under this rock, under the shelter, get my fire going there. I can stack my firewood right there. I can feed that fire all night, no problem. And you know, I don't have to get up and run off every time my fire starts getting low. I can wake up, build my survival long fire here, wake up. The heat is going to reflect. The heat is going to reflect off this rock. It's going to keep my body, my core temperature warm. It's going to keep my mind at ease all night. And hey, I can sit here, relax, listen to the river as the river runs, think about my next plan for in the morning, going after fish, going after wild edibles, whatever I've got to do to get that sustenance, the calories to put in my body and keep myself warm, live, and focused. In the Georgia woodland, cedar trees, not only in Georgia, everywhere in the United States, if you come upon a cedar tree, this is the key element for getting a fire started, whether it be a friction fire, barrel rod fire, flint and steel fire, whatever fire it is, mac fire, whatever it is you're making. The inner cambium layer on the bark of the cedar tree is absolutely perfect for an accelerant. Quick and easy way to draw this cambium layer off. I prefer something that's going to be 6 inches or larger, just because you get a lot of dry areas. But this is what I have, so this is what we're going to work with. You want to take your knife, strike very gently, without damaging the wood. This is a live tree. We want to respect our surroundings. Once we have gotten are, we can make a cedar cigar or a tinder cigar by rolling it up. It's going to get some of the bulkier bark off, leaving us with a fine hair-like substance that we can bed our ember in. We want to be getting these dry pencil-sized sticks to fuel our fire. So let's get back to the shelter and let's get a fire going. Here we have chert and we have high carbon steel, or a flint and steel fire. The whole method of this fire is to be able to take a piece of char cloth, which is charred 100% cotton, that has been charred in a tin can and allow the gases to escape. The whole idea is to lay this down and allow the sparks that we strike with this chert to fall onto the char, and we get an ember just as you see here. Then we want to take the bird's nest that we have made, put our char inside of this bird's nest, and slowly apply oxygen. Steel and char cloth, keeping it in on your side. When the chips are down and you get in a situation where you need fire, you need to warm up, you need to purify your water, you need to, or boil your water, you need to cook your food, it's going to work every time. So there's several methods to fire. One you've seen, flint and steel or chert and steel. The next is a fire piston. The whole idea is you take the char cloth and you put it in the end of the fire piston and put a wax substance around the shaft of the fire so there it's lubricated. Once it's lubricated, you put it in to the insert here. And here you can see we have an ember. That we could use to put in our tinder bundle and get the same fire going just as we did with the flint and the steel. So the next, we've done flint and steel fire. We have showed fire with how to give an ember with fire piston. The next is a ferro rod. Ferro rod, probably ferrocerium, is a very, very easy form of fire. The whole idea, you would take the same char cloth, which you really don't need with a ferro rod, and strike off the 3,000 degree pieces of ferrocerium to ignite your fire tinder, whether it be fat wood, char cloth, horseshoe fungus, chaga, whatever it is that you're using for a fire accelerant. This is all the time, hands down, this is going to be probably your most faithful fire. I would rather have a ferrocerium rod on my side than matches and a lighter than anything, because I've been in 60-mile-an-hour high winds in a blizzard where lighters will not light, but ferrocerium rods, they're truth at all times. One of the things that when you are carrying your knife, your flint, your steel, whatever it is that you choose to carry in your survival kit. One of the things that you want to think about, I would say the most important, is the multifunctionality or multi-purpose of that item that you choose to carry. So kit mentality, survival kit mentality, what you carry in your backpack, what you carry in your haversack, what you're carrying in your Jeep, in your car, your truck, whatever it is that you're doing, when you're going on a trip, you're going on a hiking trip, you're going on a biking trip, kayaking, whatever it is, fishing, hunting, whatever it is that you do, kit mentality is always a very important thing to have, because the more multi-purpose products that you have is the more usage you're going to get out of that product when something goes wrong. That's why I choose, when I'm carrying a cutting tool, I like a cutting tool that can also be used as a combustion device to get fire with the same flint and steel or flint and char method, just as we've done with the fire steel. Here you'll notice I have a knife, and this knife is one of my own designs. It's designed with 1095 high carbon steel so that when I strike it with flint, char, or cork, that I can get the sparks to come off of it that will ignite the charcoal just as we did before. If you notice here, we have an ember. But we'll just put a rock here so it doesn't blow off. We'll take our fire tinder. This is our emergency fire tinder. So it's very important, when you think kit mentality, you want something that's going to be multifunctional, such as your knife. You can find cork, char, flint, or anything of that nature down there, rivers, creeks. You just got to know what to look for. One of the things that I push is when you're in a survival situation, the best thing you can do is calm down, take a breath, and touch the earth. In native theory, touching the earth is not just touching something and feeling it, but it's also understanding it. It's learning its ways. It's like learning an eagle, learning a hawk, learning what the bears feed on, learning what the wolves look for, learning to watch the stars and use that as your magnetic compass. One of the biggest issues is the transformation in survival. It's going from humanistic thinking to the ways of the wild. Once you can understand that there's two things that nature's going to provide, nutrition and danger. Once you learn to capitalize on nutrition and watch for danger, then you can become more adapt. Wrap yourself in Mother Nature, understand her in all her ways, look for the best, hope for the best, the ways of survival, the things that it takes to stay alive in survival. That is a skill, but survival itself is a mentality. When you're making cordage, depending whether you're doing a braid cordage or whether you're doing reverse twist cordage, you want to overlap and braid just like you would do in a hair. Now this is going to give us a fairly large cordage. But to do an emergency, if you need an emergency for cordage for a bow drill fire, or you know, something to tie off, make a basket, weave something together, this is going to be the method that I prefer. This is something that I like to do when I'm sitting around the fire. Get your mind off of everything, just calms you down, relaxing, but you're also doing something constructive. the next thing what we want to do is we want to take this, we want to get this put in the water. We want to wet this to cause it to shrink. As we wet it, we'll pull it tight. And here you can see what we've done in a minute, 2 minutes. Imagine spending several hours around the fire, the coils of rope that you can have. Guys, this is cordage. This is probably one of the most difficult things to reproduce from natural materials in the wild. But if you understand your surroundings and you know your surroundings, and you can touch the earth, you can become one with the earth and become part and work with it instead of against it. If you work against nature, I promise you're gonna die. Among the rocks on the side of the river is my favorite Mexican dish, which is called molcajete. And the molcajete is the cactus mixed in with different veggies and meats, and it's stir-fried up and served in a lava bowl. Here, growing wild, what the Mexicans call molcajete is the prickly pear cactus. Now, something you've got to understand about cactus, you can eat most of every cactus that's out there. But they do come with danger. And that danger is they have very small spines growing, and they will prick and get into your skin and really cause irritation. But the amazing thing about prickly pear, this prickly pear has made it through 2 snows and it's made it through a winter. So if you were out and you haven't been able to catch a fish or take game, then this right here is my favorite delicacy, the molcajete. This way to process this without getting it all the spines on you is to grab it and to just simply cut the spines off and skin it. And during its season, if you ever were to try to blow on it, you got to be very, very careful, because if you blow on it, it'll actually can fly up and get in your eyes. And here we're wasting a little bit of the prickly pear, but it's all right. We're just going to skin that off, just like that. And you can see here that as careful as I'm being, that I was able to get some of the spines in my finger. There's about 20 of them. You just got to be careful, because you don't want to get that in your system and eat that. Because if you swallow that, guys, you're going to be in trouble. But as I always say, most of the time where there's risk, there's reward. Luckily here, in the prickly pear, the reward is very great. Let's wash it off and have some supper. Here with the molcajete, for the prickly pear, the reward is very great. Oh my. Not only is the fruit delicious, but the inner layer is a great lubrication for your skin, sunburn, or treating wounds. This is delicious. This is a young cedar tree, and this is young tender cedar needles. I can take and process this up. Oh, and it smells just absolutely amazing. And I can rub this on my skin, on my beard. You want to use the fresh, young green needles. Process that up. Bugs hate cedar. If you can smell like a cedar, a lot of the times they'll leave you alone. It's also really good to take some of this, cut off some of the limbs, wrap it up, put it in the fire, and then let it smolder around you, that the smoke will just smolder and keep the bugs away. A great natural bug repellent for the wild. The Native Americans thought that cedar as a purification oil. But actually, what they did not know is the cedar, they would bathe and they would fast from food and then bathe in the cedar. And they said it would make them invisible to the animals. But what they did not know was the cedar would actually mask their human scent. That way they were scentless when they were going after the buffalo, elk, and deer. And so virtually, they were completely invisible.